Time assume for what? Ladies and gentlemen, the American is simple. Time assume for what? This is the relationship segment with my take on relationship. What does the Bible says when it comes to marriage and friendship and whatever? What does the Bible say? What is the Constitution saying? What is the culture of our land saying? Ladies and gentlemen, then the Bible ne can power the one country. Then a man can Constitution and then the Muslim can power the impression. Ghana for me, where Counselor Lee taught me from every day of your life. You have to get my take on relationship, how to manage your relationship, how to marry well, how to do things the right way in marriage, how to have a child. This is yours truly, Counselor Lee taught. Join me on my YouTube, Counselor Lee taught. Join me on my Facebook Live page, Counselor Lee taught. Join me on my Instagram, Counselor Lee taught. And let's have my take on relationship issues. Should you die in a dying relationship? No. Marriage is not a destination, but a transition. How you make it belongs to you. Join me right now. See ya.
Michael, what's supporting the immune system? Yeah, man, Michael.
But you are Tony near.
Let's go be able to go in the
Me kwa support my boost your phone immune system. Hey, that's a Michael t-shirt. Mato t-shirt. Me kwa ba be fan kan no. Ni t-shirt ru go mama.
Boss, champion, boss, come stop. Mr. Only one.
Okay.
Michael, supporting the immune system.
And your well-being.
Vico 20 is not suitable for children under 12 years of age, pregnant women, and lactating mothers. A quality product from Joy Herbal Center. This advertisement has been vetted and approved.
Michael, what's supporting the immune system? Yeah, man, Michael.
But you are Tony near.
Let's go be able to go in the
Me kwa support my boost your phone immune system. Hey, that's a Michael t-shirt. Mato t-shirt. Me kwa ba be fan kan no. Ni t-shirt ru go mama.
Boss, champion, boss, come stop. Mr. Only one. Okay.
Michael,
supporting the immune system.
And your well-being.
Vico 20 is not suitable for children under 12 years of age, pregnant women, and lactating mothers. A quality product from Joy Herbal Center. This advertisement has been vetted and approved.
Are you ready? It's all about the prestigious 3G Media Awards and Celebrity Bash. Oh yeah. TC Energy and 3G Media Group presents the 13th edition of 3G Awards. It's on Saturday, the 5th of October 2024. The venue, UIC Banquet Hall, 301 Palisade Avenue, Yonkers, New York, 1073. And the time, it's 9 p.m. on the dot. Come early, don't be late. Hosted by Ed Georgia. DJs on the turntable, DJ Nice and DJ Chief Alex. Red Carpet, Pop Freddy and Yeah TV. Sounds by Paradise Sound. Tickets are affordable. $100 for regular and $200 for VIP. Grab yours now. There'll be an amazing live performance by the dynamic band. For more information and inquiries, you can contact 164-683-36194 or +233 277 609 644. The sponsors, the media partners.
Makbe honey ginger chips. Na ginger, na honey, na chips. Wake ginger, efe chips. Ni eba choda, me pacha se ebeti wenum, esiesie uni pedriemu, ema umoja emu esane. Meke, enyane chips ne nkwaye wane powder. Powder ne so de anopa osore a, wo de aye nsuo kakra warm water bi na wanom. Oba wonum esiesie wase, oba wonum ema wenum etse. Mo amukọ nkrofo ncha na mu di nkomo achese wenum emu nte. Wase so enye me recommend makbe ginger honey. E de amawo. Ne chips ne so so ene so bebia wonam bia no tumi de tu ka mu ukoto kuom na ewo ho de bia sanya wanum ebet bema ema wapomudin usisi mu utwadie mu eyede I making ye wonye wo amanone wo pebi wo amanone a sei na ya package no the number ni ne
862-215-2007 862-215-2007
ena eba no ya ye kromu ha Ghana ha dia chese ebusu wo shop biare mu but ye number so a wo pedudu etu anankasa wo pedi ankasa yuso a eno so eno
0277-609-644
makbe honey ginger me say.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's fun to be back, and I think this time we are here. I promised all of you yesterday that today I have two shows. There's one happening when you might be sleeping. That's a show for the 3G Awards that is coming up. If you are still in Ghana and you want to come, join me as I get ready to fly to the United States of America for this evening's for tomorrow's show. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been good. I love you. My number, my favorite counselor, your number. Oh, my number is 0277-609-644. 0277-609-644. You know, 0277-609-644. That has always been my number. I mean, if I'm your favorite counselor, please keep this number and call me as a word. But if you want to call me right now as I speak, try me on 862-571-3950. All right, thank God it's Friday today. No hoodie. It's a Friday and this is thanks to One Check One Up Boutique. From the corridors and the wardrobe of my one and only Mrs. Lutrod. She's giving me this to wear, and I think I look good in it. Thank you so much. I don't have the name at the moment, but when I get the name of what I'm wearing, I'll let you know. But it's been lovely. It's been nice. For some time now, from the beginning of the month, I promise you, by the support of Vicro 20 and Makba Ginger Honey Chips, together with all the sponsors, I'm going to bring you a lot of topics. And in this October, I said I'm dealing with the family because our December program is coming on very soon. The Orgasm Conference and the Families Conference is just at the corner, and we can't miss any other thing. Right now, I bring you music alongside the lecture. This is the School of Marriage and Relationship. We are still on mother-in-laws, and today I'm trying my best to conclude the topic on mother-in-laws. Mother-in-law starts the difference now. Mother-in-law starts the difference now. Mother-in-law, hear me, I'm talking to you. Starts the difference now. I know you are turning your neck to ask which mother-in-law am I talking about. I'm talking to you, this woman. Every woman is a potential Confucianist as a mother-in-law. Every woman who has a child, especially every woman who has given birth to a son, is a future monster instead of a mother-in-law. So tonight, our conversation is very simple. What is the best way for you to become the best mother-in-law? Not a monster-in-law. I started a conversation about Monday or so, but today, I am hoping that with your questions and answers, we will wrap up. Today, we'll open the lines opportunity for you to either call in or join us live here on TikTok. Thank all of you who are on YouTube, Counselor Lutrot TV. Counselor Lutrot TV will be what is it? I just saw a violation. I don't know which one is a violation, but don't worry. I mean, this is for every time they have their own rules and regulation. Yes, I know it's under parental control. My age is 18. So what I'm talking about is that we are discussing a mother-in-law, how to become a very good mother-in-law to your daughters-in-law. And I'm saying that you are the one I'm talking to because every woman is a future mother-in-law and when you have a son, you grow to become a worse mother-in-law or the best mother-in-law. But till then, where your son gets a wife, I want to help you by making sure that you become the best mother-in-law. Ladies and gentlemen, the time is now. I promise you I'm going to start, and I'm here. And I have 2 solid hours to let you play some music, dance to some good music, and at the same time, let's do it. Today, I prefer to start with this. Hear this one.
And no sign of the power. Found Saba woman, or don't you were
Share the page, invite a friend, let's do it together. Tell a friend that we are here, and today is a smart one. For the next 1.5 hours, we are doing mother-in-laws. Do you have a good mother-in-law? Come and share the story with them. How good is your mother-in-law to you? Is your mother-in-law interfering in your marriage? How does it make you feel? Oh, yeah. Miss me, darling. Naomi. Oh, listen to the storyline. Power. Acoustic in display. Bang 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 bang. I can't hear me there. Oh. All right, so you didn't see now you time for a normal. If you are smart, you want to meet me town with son we didn't see. But a goma ye di ejinadia ba konso. Adia ba kono enone day. Say sana yen senum. Any yen yere no motiano. Ama ye mu bebre no ye ni enje. Minimu wo de. Ba no wonderful for bebre emba di titi. Omo krunum eni je efi omo anim esan so omo senum emma no ene won eti adoa homma so. Na obi dumbie obi baba waba wale ase watu enani esi ni so saa no so den na ubenya den na abenya efi ni ho se obaba mayere oni na etwe krasa ayembia bone ben na baye yi ayew waye oboni bi mpo a fa chen esan se wi asma ye bae di otwa sana ebre wo bebere ni onim se na chi action enwanim ni adofo yedi nkomo ya kosi pempenso bi ehu se be madodo bebre a omo sha abrabo ase wo omo yire no maame no ni papa no fie no omo yi edi akonkan ne tie me papa bi di nkomo bi ka se owale ne yire no one ne kotena ne maame ne papa fie enu nti otumi si dan num enfitiasie no mantwe ama no esan se ye no an sen na mbin na be ma wo wale de ugoda wo yiri fie e ma wo be ma brem edi wo yiri twa ewo ne maame mu fie ba ichire mu adesua kakra mi ko sua ma mi hu se oba de ni kunu ekọ omu fie a abusua ni nyina tai oba na chi ma yesum be ma no enti ma be ma ni yi edie eba enti trosem enfom ye. For this reason, a man will leave the father and mother and become one with the wife. And pen pino yen tisa trosem nasi. His son said, Obani betu Adam ewo edin true. But me kind man na komunya masum say. Obama be awo kwa wadia. She say Obani ni bimpua. Omufi o baby a yedda. She say Obani hunsun ye mpua. Omabusi fie no kwa ye je otata. Obema bi a wokwa awade a oba na busuafo Omon pe wani mu ahwe no. Dwi hu mienu. Men kase I fight for love. So wase be ma ene wo enye fine. Said be ma wo kwa awade a. Twe awade ne sign. Men fan kompai bo. Men fan kwa akwankyere. Men kase medoro. Osobo kyere fan sabe wo mani. Me wu anya hwe. Menye sa. Wa wo hwe me na ne wase be ma ending kombo. Esan se obefa ne baba no wamfa ne nhira amma wa awade ne nkoyi beme bi awale oba na eja nhira enka ho awale ne nkwa ni ebegu eja bi antranse ma ne ba ketua enwale abrewa eja bi antranse ma ne ba panyi enwale akwada esan se eja nsem na nhira ne eyedie ewo enyanom ene hia ye nkomo kese a yedi ma me mbo bibi tew esisi maso mini we mu nukre enti akwa basa minkabi esan se minim nukre mu mesremo eya nukre se funny face DNA BAP abontene a eye authentic ye didi nkomo egu Vanessa ani masese enkola mi ense ya ye agi atimu se funny face ne na awi kola ne ba akokro anye funny face dia enwianom eya nukre ana ya tsem mesremo say atisem dia yenhwe ne kan yi esan se abaya no me ka de bia se ne ho ya me fe se na ne tse bia tie mani je ne ho nano no brafo krampo de okasa na mawu me ka de bia se Vanessa abrabo a obon enye funny face ho ade ne Vanessa enye se bia te bia funny face ewura mu nti na me kasa ba me ka ne fiti ase se na abaya itie na nko benyi obi aso ne mu yi a obedani ade pa bi ama awiase nyina na ba ne san no ane san na ambe na DNA asem bia bepie mu ama ene yegu obe ni mu ase maka se DNA nkomo ba ya munhwe ne kayi pa esa se nkwala bi wo a yesesan wo wayare sabia a enya adwimpo bi etechiri ba pempie no one of the medical errors a etumi si ne ade obi ba ama obi funny face nsem a ekoso yi me de ma adwene se ba bi a wo no oje ne ho ayarehwe na ba ne sen na DNA document ipi any video enwanom obi de ba na okembia hwe wanu yi esan senye nsem ni nyina ena ye no kre mi mani so ya gie me yire awo mi ni wanka de be sinye yesesa me ba na nye bo apayo nti bana nkwala na mba na ye wo nyina mu skin color ye de say nyame nchade mi hu mi ba na mse enyo ngie ni ede na ade ma me magina wa o ma mi bia ya wo na ye je ne ba de call ekoto ne nchen wo 6th floor ye de nkola ne call de nkola mi ensa na egu baby court ni mani o pink card on nkola ne ko du ho junior nurses ni ko du ho mo distributing nkola no o me ma mi na wo 6th floor ne de en command yo da first floor ne ya asefim kakra ma mi na wo 6th floor ni nya ne ntam ofa ne ba no so obesesa ne diaper no hu se etwa bi ohun se wa akola na ya ase ani ho ene me ne doctor ne tena no frɛ ye ni mirika ye koye ampa ya sesa ne ba no na nya adwemboni bi ete akiri na enye se nurse bi na ekoto abofra no nanso ensesan kitu bi ne bae mome yenko ekoba ne se maami be ya sesa ye ena afofia ntoata ena ode ne ko ofia anka ochine bi agya bi koye DNA no de sobo aboba bi se wafa nachi emba di no kura wa wade mu sembe ma anso no oba bega se wafa ne kunu achi no enya de pade ba ehia kukuduro ni adwempo bi odo ekoni odowo emba bebre aware mbema omundowo emba bebre aware mbema se ye kapia ombejawo emba bebre aware mbema nanka ensem fata se omone mbema se ewale nanso omaso omuhune ena omoti wodin enti oti se obi afa ne kunu achi a memfa so bombo no sa enya de nanso enya esi mesremo se ye no krese Vanessa enkwala ya oni funny face awa funny face ye de se wa wo bi dey enya funny face mba ne ye won komo bi asi edi ayembia funny face ware pen o ware ya ware ni guye wan woda ye pasi ye pa bibi ko gina ka se funny face ni enkomo a ye de wo ana ba bia ye keka kono Vanessa no a wo ba ko dadawu Na Vanessa nso nim so ba ya de ne ho be share funny face na funny face na ndi da ya wa anya ne ho ade. Na ba be na be gu ne ho anim asesa. Ah, munhwe ne ka yie. Na ye gu oba anim ase ya eye me ya. Enkanka ba ye we ye friend Vanessa yi. Ni din de bia be pie bia no. Na de to ato enye. Is it true that is a DNA report? If it is, let's be cautious because not all women that have children that the DNA are not for the men who impregnated them, cheated, or had sexual intercourse with somebody else. There is a 2% of medical error. There's a 2% of medical error which can cause a mother's child to be given to somebody else. I can't say to this, but if Vanessa will go and pick up pregnancy from elsewhere and bring it to Funny Face to name, I don't know why she would do that. Is it for the worth and riches of Funny Face? Is it for the fame of Funny Face? Because when Vanessa stands, she has equal fame, just like Funny Face. Let's think. The way we are bashing the girl, would this do anything? Let's think. Because I've said it before, I'm a living witness where my daughter nearly got misplaced, not by a deliberate means, but a simple error that occurred. Childbirth is not easy. So when a woman gives birth to a child and a child doesn't belong to even the man in question, we should not castigate her. The fact that she been able to carry a 9 months pregnancy and delivered a child, not even a stillborn, but a child that can walk, can speak, and can see. May we leave her to determine who the father of the child is. Don't fight a woman who has brought a child into the marriage. You might not know the reason. Food for thought. Congratulations. Abena, you're welcome. Yesterday you missed it. You were told not to sleep and you went to sleep. You are becoming a very sleeping girl. But I'm here today. Check your time. What says your time? Your time is 10 minutes past 5. Am I right or wrong? Is it 10 minutes past 5 or 10 minutes past 6? Check your time for me. 10 minutes past 6. So we are on course. We have 2 hours solid to have our first part of conversation. And then you will hear me again in the next 2 hours on a different conversation. But let's have it running. Are you ready? Do you have any question? 10 past 2. All right. Somebody says 10 past 2. It means that 10 past 2, this person might be speaking from the United States of America or elsewhere where the clock is 4 hours ahead of us. Congratulations. But what I want to say right now is I've been treating the topic how to be a mother-in-law and not a monster-in-law. Yesterday, I taught you to extend, and those of you who are watching the videos on Facebook and follow me on YouTube and follow me on TikTok, you have all the excerpts of yesterday. Every show we do, we give you a 10 minutes of whatever we learned a day before. So we continue like this. Today, our question is, as a mother-in-law, you are the same as the wife. Is it true? As a mother-in-law in the marriage, you are the same like the wife. So why fight yourself? That's a question. So yesterday night, I was doing a lot of illustrations with other people being available. I will continue from where I ended yesterday. That a mother-in-law is the mother of a spouse, which means my mother is an in-law to my wife, and my wife's mother is an in-law to me. And yesterday I brought it to your notice and gave you a scriptural even picture of Laban, Jacob, Rachel, and Leah. The story was clear that Laban happens to be an uncle of Jacob. It means that Jacob's mother was a sister to Laban. So there was a family relationship between Jacob and Rachel. but there was no blood relation. Incest is an illegal thing in all countries, and biblically is wrong. But when we talk about somebody having incest, it's somebody that you have a blood relationship with. So Jacob and Rachel happens to be cousins from the mother's side. So the blood in Rachel, the blood in Leah are not the same blood in Jacob. So when we are doing a DNA, it is from paternity. So Jacob had the right to have a sexual relationship with Rachel, which means as I sit right now, my wife's mother's sister's daughter, I can marry. You're confused. No, you're confused. There is nothing blood about my mother's sister's daughter. We can be wife and husbands. The only unfortunate thing is that the mother-in-law will be the auntie. And biblically is accepted. Traditionally is accepted. There's nothing wrong with it. Oh, most of you are hitting your fingers because you have some cousins from your mother's side that you love them. Go ahead. Have children with them. There's nothing blood related because your mother's blood is not in your mother's daughter. Let me clear this here. There is no blood relation between your mother's sister's daughter. Your mother's sister's daughter carries the DNA of the father. So that is what really happened between Rachel, Leah, and Jacob. So when Jacob saw Rachel and loved Rachel because she was beautiful and went to work for Laban, Laban asked a simple question. Even though you are my sister's son, I don't think this work you are coming to do for me here, you are doing it in vain. You are doing it for a purpose. So what do you wish to gain from this particular investment? Jacob said, I am interested in your beautiful daughter, Rachel. Says, for that matter, I don't know how to give birth. So I'm giving birth to girls. And I'm struggling in taking care of my sheep and taking care of my farm. So do this for 7 years. And 7 years, 7 is the number of completion. When you complete the harvest, I will give to you my daughter, who you desire. So Jacob kept watching Rachel, the booms, the bumps, the breast, like this October month, breast examination. Make sure you do it. Don't forget it. Jacob saw something sumptuous. A man who can be sent to a market is a man who is called Jacob. When you meet a man called Jacob, send him to the market to fish for you women. They will bring you something sweet. Even though they have the tendency of eating something that is not presentable, but their ways can deceive them. So Jacob went ahead, served 7 years, and married the uncle's daughter. It is not a crime, I repeat. Incest is where Jacob's uncle, hear me, Jacob's uncle, which is the father's brother, cannot have a sexual relationship. Because myself and my uncle's daughter, my father's brother's daughter, the two of them have the same blood. So when I have anything to do with my cousins, then it's blood related. But unfortunately for me, my mother's sister's children cannot have anything to do with me because they are not my blood. So I established the last time, yesterday, that any man that marries and has the opportunity to, as it were, live in the wife's family house becomes more prosperous than a man that marries and live with a wife in the parents' house. Why? Because when a man goes to the woman's house, they receive you with the mentality of making sure that the marriage will stand for our daughter. You get it? Because they see you to be a plus for them. Every mother wants their daughter's marriage work. Every mother. Every father wishes to hear that my daughter went into marriage, and I don't constantly call them to advise them. It is a plus for you to be married, and constantly your parents will not come into your domain because you have conflict, but comes to debrief from your house. But I'm saying a man that spends some part of your life with your wife's family, you become prosperous. God blesses you. You get more wealth than when you live with your wife in your own parents' house. This is why this conversation has been very provocative. Why is it provocative? Because as I speak, every daughter-in-law who went to live or is living or is planning to live in the house of the husband's mother goes there and come back with the bad news. There's a rich man in this country, Ghana, who shared his story with me that when he married the wife, accommodation was a challenge. So the wife's father gave them the garage of their house. And the garage of the house was connected to the master bedroom. He said to me, counselor, it was difficult to have a conjugal duty with my wife because my wife was a loud type when it gets to orgasm. Away, Danny, oh, Danny, yeah, Danny, Danny, oh, Danny, oh, Danny, oh, Danny. So they choose to hit toward the side. Even that, it creates a lot of noise. But they lived in the father-in-law's garage for 13 years because the house was just a 3-bedroom house. And even though it was a garage he was living in, he had so much peace of mind in the wife's father's house. The wife's mother never disrespected this man. I'm talking about a very wealthy man in Ghana. Today, as I speak, the man is telling me that the mother-in-law passed on 2022, and nobody understood why he stood and supported the father-in-law to give the wife a befitting burial on record. He was sharing with me that the wife's mother received him, and the way he has become prosperous today, the factory that he owns, the estate that he has built, the cars that he has bought, he was able to buy those things whilst he was living in the wife's father's house. My question is, why is it the opposite? Why do I enjoy when I visit my wife's family house? Why do I feel a king in my wife's family house? But my wife becomes a servant when she visits her house. The homemaker is always the mother. So when you find yourself and there's hostility in your wife's family house for you, the first thing you have to check, were they in support of you marrying their daughter? Did you by any means disrespected them before the marriage? Have you shown signs of arrogance? Or better still, has your family disrespected your wife's family? Because there are times that we have not caused the trouble, but some siblings of ours, together with our mothers, will come and misbehave in the house of. I witnessed a scene one time, a funeral ground, where a husband's mother, misbehaved at a wife's auntie's funeral. and she left the funeral grounds. And it became a serious stigma. It began a fight because the mother-in-law was served. And she said the food they served her, the light soup was too cold. So they should warm it for her. And the one serving didn't know this is a mother-in-law. So she said, it's the same soup they are dishing for everyone. So, madam, if it's cool, then will you hold on? Let me go and see if there's a microwave to let it be hot for you. The truth is that it is you who the cells in your mouth are dead. Because others are taking the soup and doing. You, this mother-in-law whose mouth cells are dead, you are complaining, say, and quite natural. So she gave a caveat for Rebecca, mommy. And the Rebecca she's selling was the daughter-in-law. But Rebecca was the one who was sitting behind the food and dishing. So she cannot get up from the main dish just to go and attend to a particular woman who says for Rebecca, mommy, who was the mother-in-law. So Rebecca said, oh, your friend is saying, oh, see, my minute to say. So Rebecca sent a junior sister to go and see the woman. When Rebecca's sister got there and said, why? And then the what do you call it? The waiter, whoever served, came to say, Macho, mommy, not home. Say, okay, ma, oh, hello, ma. Ma, bacha, send me ana. And kind of money buy and do. And you see, I'm sure Rebecca, mommy, not kind of shame, mommy. And the sister-in-law said, oh, ma, kafra. Ne me man for free, the Irish. Or see, the big wake up. So the lady collected the soup and left. I was sitting in the first two seats. When the lady collected the soup and left, this woman started insulting. Little did she know that around where she was sitting, there were in-laws sitting there of Rebecca. You see the picture? So after all these things, when they went to tell Rebecca it was your mother-in-law, then Rebecca changed the bowl from a disposable bowl to a ceramic, well-designed bowl. They warmed the soup, changed the size of meat. I was observing. I am a very big concerned person who doesn't talk. And they brought it to her in a tray because that's a mother-in-law. Very, very good home. When they brought a soup to her, she received it and said thank you and asked, now that I'm going to see tray, you tray in the cup. And the lady said, oh, my macho, Auntie Rebecca sent me from her, now we are a babaji. When they put a soup on her laps, now I'm baby we are there. Me de koya there, obi abehwe me say me nkwa na me didi sa. E na nkwa be na makoma aye shishibi. So the same woman who said the soup was cold, now Rebecca allowed them to boil it. She's now complaining the soup is too hot. So what should they do? So one of the women who was sitting at my left-hand side turned her head and said, Mommy, oh yeah, my afraid before. And why would you are? Obia who? Adain. Away. Hey, don't do this. Let me to open the ground. All fire is blocking. Are you serious? So this innocent woman here, who is not part of the family, started a fight with a woman that she's acting like a witch. Come and see. Hey, then I was watching. I was listening to the words. What is it? Is it your funeral? Is it what? Is it also your family? Are you a family member? Do you know what I'm asking? Why? Are you the one eating? Who is a witch? Have you seen a witch before? Then the thing started a fight. So it didn't keep long. Then the son of the woman, I think somebody drew his attention that your mother is quarreling. Then the man came, a gentleman who has trimmed his beard. I can remember his dressing was in slippers and a nice short sleeves kaftan, a black trouser, and was wrapping the family's black and white. and came to Ma and said, Ma, then Abba started narrating long story. And the son said, Ma, sorry, name ko ichiwe. Ma, yeah, sorry, name ko. Me, sorry. Hey, Yana Metana. Mupe baby, I'm not tank, man, met trank of him will be and dim attempts to me some. I dear cry, ye make us a member. Now, and she swung to my bed tonight to see a good many must me fear anyone out there. Oh, the thing became worse. The son was, Ma, yeah. Ma, Messia, ye, Adrian Ben, I'll open your mouth. Men, Dibia, move up in coffee, Nipadia Sieno, and Yamana Kuno. She drew attention to where they were. So I was still sitting down. I didn't utter a word. I was receiving pleasant, hey, counseling shots. Hey, you're suffering because I was in clerical. And you know, when I go to funerals, I go with clerical because by the standard of my practice, I should always be in clerical. So no matter clerical. It's Metiona Meji, hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. No mami age. Long story cut short. Before the woman left there, she left a bad image that landed the son to be in the bad books of the wise family. Now they cannot exchange. So it was when the funeral, we went to the Sunday Thanksgiving. Then I was part of the officiating ministers. Then the son came to me and I brought back the issue that occurred yesterday. And the son told me a lot. So I connected with the family. I was already connected to the family, but not in that line of, it's a big family. It stopped the family from giving the woman the respect that he deserves. So I'm saying that there are times that you will get into the bad books of your wife's family because a family member who is a key member like your mother might misbehave during a program. Recently, I went to an engagement ceremony, and at the engagement ceremony, they are sharing things for those who came for the engagements. And then an auntie of the man, no, the woman's auntie, sat at the wrong place. So when they were sharing the things for the men, she got some. And they realized that Adiana shot her. So they came to tell her, said, we are men money there. Mami, we nye. And if I didn't bra, near for money, na we obey for. Then she easily gave it out. When they took it to the woman from the man's side, she said she will not collect. Because if they consider to give her, they won't go and collect that woman's own for her. Come and see. Apparently, she is the one who is representing the mother of the boy. Created a lot of confusion. I am not painting the picture of the male family as bad, but I'm saying that there are incidents that will start and will end up that people will see your son as a bad one. But away from this, the woman's family is always sweet to her husband. Look, they are lazy husbands. I'm telling you, they are lazy husbands who have lived with their wives in their family house for 30 years. Lazy husbands. And I'm using the word lazy husbands because they don't know how to pay rent. They don't pay water bill. They don't pay electricity bill. As a matter of fact, they have made them the godfather of the wife's house. And they have lived in their father-in-law's residence, and their firstborn is 30 years plus. A living testimony in Accra. Osu, to be precise. The man is an Ewe. So the day we all realized that he was not actually part of the family but came to marry, it shocked us. But when I got closer and asked him, if you have lived with this flip for 35 years, why didn't you buy some of the land in Akwaji? Why? What stopped you from using your resources to purchase? You are a serious Agoya. You are a serious carpenter that everybody knows. All coffins in the family were made by you. Why were you too comfortable? Because your father-in-law loved you? So I'm saying that if you have a very good family, father-in-laws and mother-in-laws from your wife's place, it can make you rich or make you poor. But comparing the two, if you live in your own father's house with your wife, you'll be more poorer than when you go and live in your wife's family house. So I established the fact that no man on a scale of 0 to 10 who have challenged with the wife's family, regardless of what will happen. Oh, I had a child behind my wife. I knew that it was going to be break a lot of hell. The day we sat down, we discussed it. The family easily forgave me. And they accepted me. Even though my mother was angry about what is happening, trying to fight in a way, my wife's family accepted the first child I brought. I went again, and the grace of God landed me in my male organ. And I had another one too around another place. That was not deliberate. But our children are not kept out of our home. It happened again. The family didn't disown me. Yes, they don't have right over me. But in all honesty, they love the way I'm living with their daughter. And I'll forever say that my mother-in-law, I can't compare her to my mom, but I will sacrifice everything I can for her anytime she's in need. I might not do it direct to her, but I'll never allow my wife to suffer when the mother is in need. Never will I do it. Never will I do it. Same like my father-in-law. Yes. I don't know about you. So having gotten these conversations, I have established that there are two sides to in-laws. The man's side and the woman's side. Constantly the troubles that we face in marriages when it comes to in-law wahales are always from the man's mother. Why? What is stopping my mother to be good to my wife? What is the problem? My wife has never insulted my mother before. My wife will never insult my mother. My wife has given all the respect that she is due to give to my mother to her. But naturally, she doesn't have any genuine love for her. What is the reason? Look, your son cannot provide accommodation. And then the wife was working with a certain company. And the company rented for them apartments. During the bank shuffling, is that how we call it? The reconstruction or restructuring of the banks. The woman's properties, because the bank was taken over by government. So all the accommodation, they were asked to vacate the accommodation. Government promised to relocate them. It never happened. So immediately, there was nothing that must be done. They have been married then for 5 years. The son has never rented. He was a graduate, still moving around looking for a job, doing something small. But the wife's job was covering up, and the parents were aware. They had a Passat. The Passat was a car that the woman bought with a loan, and their son was driving the Passat. When the change of government occurred and then they were doing the restructuring of the bank, the woman, the car was there. She was just about to finish paying, so they didn't take the car away from her. Cleaning up of the banking system. Thank you very much. The bank cleaning up system. Yeah, where number one and the other people, I deal finance and the rest. Hey, this is serious. Just give me a minute. The family saw what the wife was doing. The family saw it. Hey, immediately when the bank collapsed, the son didn't have what it takes to rent. The woman's money was now finished because it affected her investment. They asked them to leave the apartment. Everything in that house was bought by the woman. So the man's father and mother were living in a house. They had 3-bedroom house. That the son, they had 2 sons and 2 daughters. So immediately the guy will have to find a place. He's not getting money to rent. And the wife was not ready to go and put her burdens and her life in the father and mother's hands. But it was unbearable. And unfortunately for her, while she was edging on to build her life, she avoided building her mother. Her father was dead. So her focus was the mother. The mother too was living in a very small apartment, even though the girl was okay. And the siblings were living somewhere. So she cannot move the children. They had 2 children by then. To go to her mother's house. That is why I'm telling every man, including myself. If you marry any woman, join your wife to have a befitting place for your wife's mother. In case of any eventuality, the best place to have your peace of mind is where your wife will have a peace of mind. Oh no, you can be angry with me. My wife will be more peaceful in their house than in my house. My mother is not a witch. My mother is not evil. My siblings are nice with my wife. Everybody adores my wife. But who knows? They might be doing these things for her in me, my presence. Oh yes. I've heard a lot of statements around people's mouth as if they are joking. Somebody made a statement one time at an event around my wife. And I warned her, I don't want to hear that again. We laugh about it, but I warned her. She said, hey, as for you, Mrs. Lutrot, the day your husband will leave you, you'll be exposed. Oh, everything he will defend you. I said, what do you mean by that? What do you mean by everything I will defend her? Is she a child? Don't say that again. So are you angry? I said, yes, I'm offended. Why do you say that? Oh, every woman will want to have a man that will defend. I said, what am I defending? Because when you don't stop those nonsense, it will be carried. So I don't believe that when I leave my wife with my mother and my sisters for 1 week, she will smile in that house. I don't want to. So I'm encouraging every man, when you marry a woman, look for where the mother and father lives. Do something there, not by yourself. I repeat, support your wife to do something there, that in case anything happens, even if you cannot join her, your children will have a better place to go with your wife. Well, you can be angry. It will not sound too well to you. But I said it one time that in my mother-in-law's residence, the place is dusty. Anytime the children will go and come back, they come with a sinus challenge. In my mother's place, we have tiled the place and cemented the place. When they go there and come, nothing happens. Then it becomes a challenge. Anytime they visit grandma and they come, they have cold. Until I realized that it is not grandma giving them cold. The environment was dusty. So why won't I encourage my wife to do the same terrazzo and tiling in the mother's house? Not me. But honey, this is 20,000 to support you. Do that tiling. She might go and tell the mother that my husband gave me the money. I am not the one doing it. But I am preparing a place for my children and for me in future. Yes, we are being told, don't develop your wife's family. Focus on your family. But I am changing the narrative that don't neglect your family, but focus on your wife's family. Even if they are ungrateful people, make sure that things work for them. Look, if your wife's sister has the brain to go to school and you have a scholarship, don't wait for your daughter to grow. Give it to your wife's sister. Or let me tell you what will make you angry. If your brother is there and your wife's sister is there and there's an availability of traveling, give it to your wife's sister and leave your brother. I'll give you a chance to come and ask your questions. You can write it. So with all these things I'm doing, I'm establishing the fact that it is very difficult to find that the mother-in-law of a wife is seriously against a man. Hardly do you find it. Let me end my story. So the girl bought a Passat, and finally they didn't get anywhere to go to. The girl bought a land. She had a land in Kwabenya before marriage. So when the crisis came and things were not going down well, she went to sell the land, gave the money to the husband, so they would get a place to rent. Look, there are some women that when you get them, look, be careful you don't do evil to them. Look, some women, look, there are women that from their hearts they give. Me, I'm a living testimony of women. Oh. There are women that I don't have any amorous relationship with, but they think about me like I am the next thing that happened to their lives. See the things I wear. See these new glasses I'm wearing. Look, somebody's thoughts of appreciating me sees what I do and gives me this. Men should be careful when you chance on a woman whose family is not giving you trouble, but giving you an opportunity to own assets. See their daughter as an ATM machine. She might misbehave. She might speak loose. She might do things to hurt you. But I'm telling you, what your wife would do to hurt you might hurt you. But what your family will do to hurt your wife will kill you. The lady sold her land in Kwabenya, gave the money to the husband. My husband, look for accommodation for us to go before the government's order comes to drive us away. The husband took the money and found a house around Ofanko area, a 3-bedroom self-walled. And he said the landlord of the building is in Dansoman. No, Mamplobi. So they went to meet the old lady in Mamplobi. And the old lady said that the house, he didn't want to give it out, but because they are a family unit, he will give it to them. The amount of the money, for example, the rental for a year was 10,000. And the landlord said he was taking 2 years. So after selling their land and everything, they decided to give the woman a part so that they will use part to renovate. The woman said yes. So they went with the pictures and came back to Mamplobi, between Dansoman and Mamplobi, around the Methodist church. They met the woman sitting there. They gave the money. They took a receipt as part payment. And then the agent said, when they are paying the second part, then they give him his money. As I'm speaking, this young man's parents had a house they were living in at Tantra Hills. A very big 3-bedroom house, like I said. But the lady saw that if we go and live with my mother-in-law, I will not have the flow I want. The center will hold back again for me. Then this lady was the one who was collecting the money for the business. And she was a key person to their banking facility. So now they began to investigate her. She was going to Yoko. She was going to everywhere. Then the pressure came on her. Then see what happened. When the man took the money, the people who went to sit with the man and the old lady at this particular location I'm talking about, Zone 6, that's the name, Zone 6, Agege Zone 6, a certain house, according to the story. This was a scam. They collected the 10,000, 100 million. When they came there, they said nobody lives. I'm sorry. It was scanned them the 100 million. The house they want to show them in Ofanko was a particular facility for a bank. Everything was a scam. They lost the 100 million. The lady was then going up and down to Yoko. Troubles upon troubles. So she had another asset. She has to sell it to give the money so that she'll have a peace of mind. All this time, the husband was not working. So they ended up by saying that we have to go to your mother's house. Friends and loved ones. This is where the war began. A lady who will send money every month to the mother-in-law. A lady that will buy, and I'm talking about a certain class of a girl, you know. I have a certain lady friend. If you make a mistake and send her to Accra to buy you ginger, you are in trouble. She will take her time and make sure they select, like my wife, she won't buy just anything. I didn't want to use my wife, but she's just like my wife. If you send her to buy, I want to go and buy tomatoes. Charlie, tomatoes, there are tomatoes. She will sit down and make sure that they select neat, nice ones and pay for it. So when she says she's presenting food stuff to the mother-in-law, then it's a selected food stuff. This woman forgot everything. The things from their house cannot fit in the mother-in-law's house because they have their own sitting room, they have their own dining chairs, they have everything. But here is a case that they are supposed to come there and collect everything they have bought. So the car brought their things. She said the day that they got into that house, she felt a sharp pain in her heart and asked herself, what am I doing here? The mother-in-law saw her and said, Akwabo, and entered her room. There was a father-in-law who came and said, oh, my daughter, sorry, I've heard whatever is going on. It is well. And he said the father-in-law gave her hope to live again. They collected their things and put it in the porch. All the things cannot go. The things from her kitchen, her stove, her fridge, her deep freezer, their television, everything. And the father-in-law said, there are 3 rooms. Pick your senior brother's room because your senior brother is no more here. He's in Cotonou. He's not coming. And let's give your room to your children. It's a small room. So the father was doing an arrangement and they did arrangement. He said, fast forward, Sunday morning. She was lying down. Then the mother-in-law knocks their door and calls her. Now that she has come to join the marriage, she has to come and hear the rules of engagement in this house. She said, yes, ma'am. This is the kitchen. I cannot accommodate your stove in my kitchen because the place is small. And she's talking about a big kitchen that can take 4 different stoves. The woman changed everything of her life. Says your dining chairs cannot be used. The children can sit behind the dining table, but you cannot sit behind the dining table because you know the dining table was designed for myself and my husband, but the grandchildren can use it. She said, okay. She said there are 2 toilets, the visitor's toilet and the one you are using in your room. But there are times that I choose to use the one in the room because I'm growing. She said, yes, ma'am. The rules were bad. Now she has to choose to cook at midnight because when she cooks, when the mother-in-law is cooking in the afternoon, it says the house is hot and the scent of the food is irritating her. She went through this for the past 3 years because the husband didn't get money for them to rent. The same mother-in-law who from a distance was taking money from her. Now when she's even leaving to go and look for job opportunities and want to leave the grandchildren with her who is on retirement, he says she has somewhere to go. She'll go for tarry in the afternoon to go and pray. So she cannot take care of the children. And in all this, the husband was helpless, didn't know what to do. That was the time that the lady met somebody and the person told her, your husband was told not to marry you because you are too flamboyant. So the family is holding it against you. They didn't allow their son to grow. You came to force their son to marry you, even though he didn't have. The lady didn't know this. Now the mother-in-law became the biggest rival of this lady. When the mother-in-law is in the house, she can't come out of the house. When she makes up and she's going out, the mother-in-law will call her and ask her, where are you going? Oh, there's a job opportunity. And you're going for a job opportunity, you dress like this. Will they give you the job? Somebody that you are gathering money for you to go and rent your place. All these expensive dresses you buy. And she said the dresses were old dresses that she bought when those days. She said in living in the house for the past 4 years, 37 times constant meeting to mitigate confusion between her and the mother-in-law. She never told her mother anything about all these things. A young girl coming up had a BP. So doing counseling with all the stories coming up, it came to her reality that the object of fright is your mother-in-law. So the best you can do for yourself is to move out. Here is a girl who doesn't have business anymore. She sold everything to clear herself because Yoko was disturbing her. The job she has now doesn't pay well. The husband's job doesn't pay anything at all. And the husband is not ready to look for additional job. A lazy man who wants to go to work and come back and cross the legs and fuck shit, nefi ready. Yaki awla shimo. Ena toto area Jimmy. And the mother-in-law destroyed the happiness of this beautiful girl. She said she was shocked. Every time her daughter, who lived in the US, will come to the house with a son-in-law, as if heaven has come. The things the mother does for the daughter's husband. Hey, why me? Now, this is somebody's story. I don't know your story. But my question is, why is it that our mothers are not nice with our wives? Why is it that our mothers are fighting our wives? Why is it that our mothers constantly have a challenge with our wives? Why is it that our mothers never want to see the happiness of our wives? But these are the women that are taking care of their granddaughters, their grandsons. These are the women that are taking care of us. These are the women that are making us look good. These are the women that because of them we are respected at the city gate. A man will not be respected at the city gate because of the mother. A man is respected at the city gate because of the wife. But I don't know where this is coming from. Where right now our wives find it so difficult to enjoy the estate of our mothers. I don't know where it's coming from, where our mothers have become so cruel and so wicked to our wives. What have they done? Is it wrong for them to agree to marry us? Why can't our wives clap their hands for our mothers? Why our wives are fighting our mothers? Why have our mothers become the prayer point of our wives? Why? Why? What is the cause? What is the crime? What was not done well? Where from it? Why is it difficult for our mothers to live with our wives in peace and in harmony? And these are Christian mothers. These are mothers that their daughters, they are praying for them to enjoy their marriages. These are daughters that when our wives come and see the way they are treating their sons-in-laws, they ask, why me? How do we fix this evil canker of our mothers in the life of our wives? And the funny thing is, our wives will grow and repeat what was done to them. I don't get it. I don't get it. I am not in the understanding. I can't think far. What you suffer from your mother-in-law become the same that you are doing to somebody's daughter. Invest in your wife's family. Reduce the investment in your own family as a man. Your wife's family will keep you in high esteem than your own family. I don't care what happens to my siblings, but I care what happens to my wife. I see too much. So they see you as if we are adoyama bonti for say obusuan for abonti for na ahwe mo yie pa o oba no na ebusuan for me ye ebusuan for me hu pa o. I don't mind giving my car to my brother-in-law. He can go and crash it. I don't care. Because when they crash it, the way my mother-in-law will follow and come and behave, they are dressing a king. But in my family, when they crash the car, stupid talk. I call my brother. My wife needs to do this. Please assist her. She has a complaint. The family. But my wife calls the brother. My husband wants you to do this. And everything grounds to a halt. And they want to serve me. I am asking, why is it that it's not working for our wives with our mothers? What is the problem? Why can't our mothers be nice with our wives? Why have they become monsters-in-laws instead of mothers-in-laws? Why are our wives not praising our mothers? Because we have done it. We are a contributing factor. And I'm going to table some of the things to you. How dare you come and marry somebody's daughter in Ghana? And because you are doing documentation for her, you have the right to bring her to Accra to live in your mother's house because you go to American Embassy. And your mother is complaining about her. And I really quite know I'm maybe I'll call you. We did the M says, "Oh, Shani, power." O Jan Kalani Fitano Pai, Dani Cromun Dibi. This is what quite my son and Kalani Bedidi. We did Fifiano Pa, Onyamba, you, meaning the echo, and or your penny and Yafina. I feel nauseated. But who caused them? Listen, if you marry any woman in Ghana and you are going to do a documentation for her, I want to encourage you that let your wife either live in her own rented apartment alone. Whether she will cheat, leave her. Whether she will sleep with dogs, leave her. It is better for your wife to live on her own than to bring her to live with your mother in your family house. Your marriage will not last. It happens. So before you come and carry your wife from Ghana to America, the few hours she lived with your mother, the few months she lived with your mother, has created a monster relationship. And that will be put at the back of your mind. We are in a question here, pa. We are in a question here. Me uja me na me ne tena mfie miensa na suba oyi di chire me pa de. Eye mo wa se wu de odo na afra wani na kade na afra mani me jimi enfa me ho. Me jimi. And I read your mother, dear cry. We need your arm strong. Your wife is not a giver. You are the only giver. Jankwasia semono na bibia me de ma obi a onim. Abua jimi ta. When they were na tamfo. Adey. Na mo de mo maba ne kwade a. Mo jeje won so. No bi baba ba wade na se a mo tanani. Mo ya banfo anadey. We are part of it. The other thing is that you travel to America. Your mother is in Ghana. Yes, I understand. Your mother doesn't have a phone. She has a phone, sorry. She doesn't know how to do mobile money. When you do a Zelle to her phone, she cannot go and collect it. The only person you trust, who you believe can help your mother, is your wife. So you give money to your wife and ask your wife to go and withdraw the money and go and give it to your mother. You have finished your wife. Stop the fooling. If worse come to worse, you don't have anybody you trust, run a banking system for your mother. Don't use your wife, because if you create that relationship between your wife and your mother will be hurt that every money you give to her, you pass it through this small girl. I'm telling you reality. This is why they hate our wives. Oh, in the reverse, you travel to America and every money you want to give to your wife and children, you give it to your mother so that your mother can go and give it to your wife. Well, brilliant. That's a wrong move. So you come on, ma send it 20 million. Me ba chona for 10 million ma adwale nkwala na mame. Nama da 3 million. Nama kwesi 2 million. Na carpenter bi beye adwuma bi ono nso man hand 1 million mame. That 2 million e be ma fa show atas se we dey won tohwe. The 10 million you are giving to your wife, your mother doesn't know the breakdown. So she's angry about you giving your wife 1,000 and giving her 200. Oh yeah. If you are the fuck. If you are the fuck. But who caused some? You. You caused some. The young lady I'm talking about today doesn't want to see the face of the mother-in-law, because that few years she spent in the house, every day she's crying. When I met her, tears were part of her eyes. After taking her through a series of counseling and encouragement, I said, force your husband to rent and go and live out of the house. Your mother-in-law will respect you. The guys have a proverb, showing your fall. Look, when I married my wife, we had a house in Osu. My wife lived in Labadi. My wife drives 20 minutes to work. I drive 12 minutes to work. I took my wife to a place where she would come to work in 3 hours. Yes. Oh, yes. It was an inconvenience. But I will not say it on behalf of my wife. My wife is happy. Because her 3 hours was enjoyable. I created a heaven for my wife. And whoever knows me, they know my wife will always enjoy the best. If you dash me a car today, she will drive it, not me. I am a fool. I agree. I'm not saying do it. But it doesn't make me the best husband. It doesn't mean I'll not cheat on her. It doesn't mean I'll not give to others. But I'm saying that I still can't fathom why our mothers hate our wives like that. We cause part of it. And I've given you 2 scenarios. Now listen, when your wife offends you, you don't have a right to report your wife to her family. But I'm telling you, if your wife offends you and you have a good relationship with your mother-in-law and you tell your mother-in-law what your wife did, your marriage will stay intact than telling your mother. If you report your wife to your mother, your marriage will collapse. If you report your wife to her mother, your marriage will stay. What is wrong with mothers-in-law and wives? And I'll come to where my conclusion will become bloody in your mind. How did my mother become my mother? Let's go there again. Yesterday I started. I want to paint a scenario. So this is Amma. This is the Lady Victory. Now watch it here. My father got married to Lady Victory and gave birth to me. And I intended, growing up, I intended to marry Amma. So Amma is a daughter-in-law of Lady Victory. And Lady Victory is a wife of my father. And as a result of marriage, I am a son to my mother. Watch it here. How did my mother come into the family? Because my mother is not a Lutheran. This is where I want our mothers to understand. My mother is not a Lutheran. She is an Ewe from the Bokoko family. And my father went to marry her from the Bokoko family and made her Mrs. Lutheran. The same way, like the way I've gone for Amma from the Boatin family and made her Mrs. Lutheran. So what is the difference between my mother from the Bokoko family who has become Mrs. Lutheran and Amma Boatin who has become Mrs. Lutheran? Why do you hate her? How did you become a Lutheran? How did you become a Lutheran? Tell me, how? Is it not my father seeing you that they love you and they married you and that is why you become Lutheran? Are you part of the Lutheran family? You are a co-opted member. You are a borrowed asset. You don't have the blood of the Lutherans. You are only chopping the bear of the Lutherans. It's the same like your daughter-in-law. So why do you hate her? Why do you hate her? Why are you fighting her? The process by which you have become Mrs. Lutheran, when you are writing Mrs. Lutheran, you all write the same, just that you are old. So under normal circumstances, everywhere you have been before, when others are coming there, you become their tutor. You receive them and show them where the pitfalls are. But where you have been before, when others are coming there, you create blockade. Are you a witch, a wizard, or a monster? What is it? Are you a Lutheran? This your behavior is not a Lutheran behavior. The Lutherans don't behave like this. But because of your behavior, my wife thinks this is how the Lutherans are. I want wives who are being maltreated by their mother-in-laws to remember that the attitude and the action of their mother-in-law is not the way their fathers, the fathers of their husbands are. This is a life that is coming from their mother's family, not their fathers, their husband's father's family. Oh, but let me calm down for you to get it. Let me calm down for you to get it. It's becoming too much on the counseling table. We are burying our mothers because our wives have made them their prayer topic. They are disturbing them. When your wife is not getting pregnant, your mother makes sure that your wife will be called names. But they are forgotten. When they came into the marriage and were able to produce me, my mother, my grandmother, who is my father's mother, who is not a lutherot, maltreated them. I thought when it's their turn, they will not repeat the same thing. But what was done to them that they were against, they are doing the same thing to my wife. What is it? What is it? Why can't you be the best mother-in-law from your family house? And it saddens my heart because our current generation, who were maltreated by their mothers-in-law and were complaining, starts the same thing. As if women are their own enemies. As if women came by creation, by default, to misbehave towards themselves because of marriage. What is it? What is it? I don't get it. Hear me. My father saw my mother, who was not, because you see, if I'm lecturing, you have to follow. I gave you the example of Jacob marrying Rachel and Leah. Jacob was a cousin to Rachel. So they were able to marry because you don't have blood relation. So you can only marry people who you don't have the same blood with. If Jacob could have married somebody from their father's family, then they are all from the Israelite family. But this is a different breed. So if I marry somebody from my uncle, it becomes incest. So my mother is not part of our family. Me, my mother, Mrs. Elizabeth Lutrot, is not part of our family. She can go to hell. She's watching. She has to know that she's not part of our family. She's actually a shadow member of the family. So the behavior of my mother is not the behavior of the Lutrots. Oh yes. I'm understanding too many things this afternoon. I now understand why when you give birth with a woman and the children go to your wife's family, the children become better than when they live with your family. Because when they come to your mother's side, your mother doesn't have the blood of the Lutrot. So they destroy the future of the children. But when your children go to your wife's side, they know they are not theirs. But for the sake of the marriage, they raise the children to become better. They're able to spank them. They're able to hit them. They're able to beat them. They're able to reprimand them. But when the children come to your mother as a man, your mother is always saying, I don't want to touch them for your wife to be angry. But that is the same thing you are doing with my grandmother. Why won't you change? Is it wrong to be a good mother-in-law? What is your problem? You want to be the only Mrs. Lutrot? Didn't you come to meet another Mrs. Lutrot? Oh, the Mrs. Lutrot you met who maltreated you. You know where she's coming from? She's from Somania. She's not a Lutrot. She's not a Lutrot. And you who is coming from Bobokwe in a Volta region, you are also not a Lutrot. But by virtue of marriage, you are writing Mrs. Lutrot. So when you find out that a new person is coming from Kumasi, that she's also becoming Mrs. Lutrot, why are you fighting her? You are the same. The difference between my wife and my mother is that I am the one marrying my wife and my father is the one marrying my mother. They are the same, no difference. They are not Lutrots. My wife is not a Lutrot. She's not. My sister, there are Shanties who say they are from the mother's side. You write your mother's name. Stop being deceived. You don't write your mother's name. Are you writing your mother's name? You don't write your mother's name. How many Ashantis are traveling and they say they should go and do a DNA and they take their mother's sample? Stop deceiving yourself. You are matrilineal. I agree. Ama, you are matrilineal. I agree. But your father's blood is what is running in you. That is why you cannot marry your father's brother's child, but you can marry your mother's brother's child. Go and check. Mothers-in-law, can you please change from today and become a mother-in-law to your wife, your son's wife, and not a monster-in-law? My wife is a human being like you. Hear me. The way my father's people came to pay your bride price is the same way we want to pay the bride price of this beautiful girl. You are senior Mrs. Luton because you are by age. So why are you fighting her? Why won't you be the one to introduce her to the Luton family? That we are all visitors here. But this is how the people behave. You can call my wife and tell my wife that I have struggled in the hands of your father-in-law. And I want to encourage you to be careful and be vigilant. If not, the son will do the same thing to you. You are a stupid mother. You are a very stupid mother. And because my wife is not following your tutorial, your negative tutorials, you have a fight with my father and you want my wife to continue your fight with my father like me. So most of our wives are fighting us because of what our mother has told them. Are you serious? That my father married you and you're lying on the floor. And you're telling my wife that in 1972, in 1968, when my father married you, you didn't have anywhere to sleep. You have struggled with my father until 1985, when my father bought his first land. My mother, you are telling my wife this, so that what? Olu. So that what? You are a visitor, and you agree to lie on the floor with me. And so, have you changed? Your family people, this is how they are. So wives, hear me. Anytime you see my mother's behavior, don't see her as a Lutrot. See her as a Bokokwe member. See her as a lady from the Boating family. See her as a lady from the Asari family. This is how the Asaris are. And nobody can teach an old dog new tricks. So anybody's mother who is evil to you, remember, this is not how your son's family is. It is how this is not how your husband's family is. If you see your husband's mother misbehaving, never equate her behavior to your husband's family. Equate it to your mother-in-law's family, because your husband's family, they don't behave like this. So in conclusion, how can they become a good mother-in-law? The only way for them to become good mother-in-laws is for them to know that between them and our wives, there are no difference. They are the same. Yes, that they are seniors because they married George Lutrot Sr. Wives, give all the respect your parents gave you to the elderly. Wives, give all the respect your parents gave you to the elderly. My mother is not a Lutrot. She's a co-opted Lutrot member, just like you. But because she's older than you, give her the respect. She doesn't have the history of our family. She might have a history of when the two of them came together as my father and my mother. But the Lutrot secret, she doesn't have it. So whatever she's telling you, It's a lie. Don't destroy your marriage because of the illicit, loose information your mother-in-law is giving you. And as for the Lutrot, they are thieves. As for the Lutrot, they are humanizers. As for the Lutrot, they are lazy. As for the Lutrot, they are like this. As for the Lutrot, they are like this. But you are still there and giving birth to 13 children with the Lutrot who are like this. Does this make sense for you telling somebody's daughter, this is how the people are? Why do we do this to ourselves? You can be the best mother-in-law. You can be. Don't be a monster. Be a mother-in-law. Don't be a monster-in-law. Don't be somebody that they are fearful to approach. The fact that you went through bad marriage doesn't mean that your daughter-in-law should go through same. Why can't they visit you in our house? Why can't they spend hours in our house? Why is it difficult for them, for my wife to come and sleep in our house and have peace of mind? Oh, yes. When my grandmother was alive, you didn't enjoy my father's family house because my grandmother, who is not a Lutrot, but was a co-opted member, didn't give you face. You were complaining. And you've struggled and lived with my father for 30 years. I just brought my wife. Why won't you show her kindness? But what my grandmother did to you, you are doing the same to her. Are you from the same family? Or because you're all women, are you your own enemies? Can you change the narrative? Mothers-in-law, change the narrative. Husbands, learn how to relate with your mother. Never ever give them the same platform. Never think that using your wife to go to your mother will settle their negative discourse. Never do it. Deal with your wife separately and deal with your mother separately. The best you can do, if there's anybody you want to walk through to as a mother, don't go to your mother-in-law direct. Walk through your wife to your mother-in-law. And their respect. And the respect of your wife's family members. And their respect. And like I said yesterday, before I give you a chance, if you have any question, you can make a request. Hear me. If you're traveling from Europe to Ghana, from America to Ghana for holidays, and you have the choice of choosing a hotel for 1 week, and the choice of choosing your house as a man for 1 week, and the choice of choosing your wife's family house for 1 week, where they are available accommodation, may I encourage you to go to your family house as a man, choose a hotel. To go to your wife's family house and a hotel, choose your wife's family house. And you will come and thank me. Unless otherwise, you have misbehaved towards them. And if you have, seek for their forgiveness. Hear me. It is only in some circles where wives, family will say, let your husband go so he can come and carry your sister. But I'm telling you, many a times, when the man goes, they stop him. The mother will stop their son from coming for their wives because they want their sisters to go. But it's reverse in the wife's family. When the wife's family, the opportunity comes, if the husband is good to their daughter, they always want your husband to go. If you have a good husband like me, never ever follow my mother to destroy our marriage. Even when I misbehave, keep me like that. And don't forget, your position and my mother's position in our family are the same. Just that one came earlier than the other. If you have any question, you can ask. Today I came to conclude the matter that it is possible that you can be a good mother. Only when you remember you don't belong to your husband's family. So the character from your family house, come and exhibit it. Let the family of the Lutrot see that the family of the Hagbatotos are decent. Let somebody ask, is your mother not a guy? He says, no, he's an Ewe. Wow, that's why. Let somebody see your mother and say, is your mother an Akan? Say, yes. She's from Bono. Her life is different. No, she doesn't act like your people. No, why should you act like a Ga? You marry a Ga, you came for marriage. Ube so jade na ahwe nkwam. Yabaya ho ade te se akanfo ho ade ya nya te se nkrani. Mesra wo. Hwe wano kasa mame. Wona ba abusuanim kane. Na so te wo kasa umpene da. Ma oba bi enware obi mfi abusuan. Na so wo ya Mrs. Lutrot. Wo tro Mrs. Lutrot. Ejapade enti ana. Don't be a monster-in-law. Be a mother-in-law. Thank you so much for joining me. If there are questions, I will read and answer. Let me see if there are some. Honestly, you are raising a new generation of best mothers-in-law for the future because of these teachings. Thank you so much, peace. Let me see. I didn't see any reason to unfollow you. Well done. Thank you for following me. They won't come and listen to learn. Oh, don't worry, peace. One day they will look for me. Hope the men are learning. If they are not learning, I don't know what they are doing on my page. Say it again. This one says very, very true. Things are happening when I was sharing the story. I'm not seeing any question. Very educating. Thank you very much. Well, let me go to Facebook. Is it what about Ashanti people? I've answered that question. This coming from Evelyn. Evelyn says, you have won my heart this evening, counselor. I will not fight you again. Why? Evelyn, thank you for not fighting me again. But may I ask you, if you stop fighting me, what can you do? I beg you, continue fighting me, but learn so you can live long. Don't stop fighting me, because the fight cannot end. They have brainwashed you too much that my words will fight you, so the fight will not stop. But thank you for watching. If you didn't come on Facebook and YouTube, who is there? Thank you so much. But I know I'm raising better mothers. I always tell my wife that we have sons. And all the women I have sons with, I say, all of you, you are not part of my family. You see, that is why when a man has so many children in town, they are his children. So don't fight them, because they are family, you are not. Maybe today somebody will understand that you are not part of the family. So Evelyn Chega, if you are Mrs. Chega, so you don't belong to the Chega family. You are a co-opted member. Your son has more rights in the Chega family than you. So you and your mother-in-law, you are the same. Just that she's senior Mrs. Chega because she was married in 1962. That's if you are Mrs. I wish they were listening to you. Well, if they don't even listen, posterity will judge us. This thing is live on YouTube, Counselor Lutrot TV. You can go and watch. On TikTok, you have sound bites each 10 minutes. On Facebook, you have 14 minutes of our lecture that we do every day. This is called the School of Marriage and Relationship. If nobody's making a request, apart from the questions that are coming from Facebook, I might be ending here. 1 hour, 15 minutes, I've done well. Pure education. At the next show coming up, maybe late tonight. But may I encourage all of you women that you will all become an in-law in future. When you have sons, you are wise. When you have daughters, you are calm. I don't know why. I don't know the fear of God that is put in you when your daughters go into marriage. But for your sons' wives, they are praying against you. That is why your diabetes is going high. That is why your BP is not changing. Because if they ask the wife to pray against those who are hurting them, they pick up a scripture, Father, you say, for this reason, the man will leave the father and the mother become one. Whoever is intruding, I declare in the name of Jesus, die by fire. Die by fire. So after hour, they are praying against their mother-in-law. Hello, my love. How are you doing, girl? You're welcome. Because
Counselor, when you say in-laws, you see that me born pie to your coupon so mommy. Or mammy, you know, but me perceive me difference, no say. Makoya, my mamma, you know, Emma, men see some nasty ye. And now I may say, my mamma, Emma, young one of the yaw. It's one of your barney being so. Sana, balance of both ways. Look at this nonsense.
Well, that's the. I mean, it makes sense because I don't know how your family sees your husband.
And say, acrimony often somehow kind of medium will be a big.
Yes.
But you see, that is the thing because my husband is coming from all boys family.
Good.
So some of the behaviors I used to think say, and then counselor, let me say this. This is where they are my dream say young mothers are that they are also very in-laws. I think it's say, oh, Sadia Bina Sebio, Debia Mika say, bear my makers, oh, bear my year. Sometimes they ask me, Sasam no meta can I like some people don't understand it. Counselor, Okasano say one of the main issue, the bearman also war our reading how our ordinary might be better to me say what's it wanna say.
It's a wanna say.
Well, now, young mothers need. I think it's a young boy was here, the my man sabran and mom. As in we don't me who send a man kind of but ye who your money say one yes happening you know at that time. And in-law could drew Niba Efia. Counselor, I understand say me kununa ye bear ma if you know say me nema me wo ni papa wo ni so wa wo me kununa ye ebusuanity anameboa.
That's right.
Therefore, I don't think say what's my mother-in-law be drew or try me how if you know a running.
Okay.
Because the head is still there. And I say me boa me throw now watch me kakra.
Okay. So let me explain to you.
And so, okay.
Your
and
mother-in-law.
So it's appearance, no?
Your mother-in-law doesn't see herself as interfering.
Okay.
The reason being that your mother-in-law will forever see the son as a son, not a husband.
Okay.
I get where I'm coming from. My mother sees me. My mother will see me in town and will look at my face and say, my face has shrunk. wafon yen hwe wo yie wundidi aden wafon atoto musa.
Oh my God.
My mother is talking to a married man. But until she would die, I am not a married man in her eyes. I am a son. Now watch it here. My mother is not part of our family. That is the problem. Until the marriage will come to an end, every wife is using every opportunity to belong to the husband's family. That is why they behave like that. She's just writing Mrs. Luttrell, but she's not a Luttrell. She's not. Our blood is not in her. So she doesn't feel like the way I feel. Look, there are times my mother does some things to me. The way my sisters feel what my mother is doing to me, my mother doesn't feel it. I have a certain feeling for my sisters. I don't have it for my mother. I don't have it for her. And that same feeling I don't have it for my wife. But I have it for my children. When my sisters are handling my children, the way they handle them, I see the blood connection. But my mother will forever be a visitor till she dies. So my wife must understand these things, that both of the two of them, they are visitors to our family. And so any life they come and exhibit is from their family and not our family. So my mother comes to our house and she's exhibiting any negative lifestyle. It's not a Luttrell life. That is why anytime my father comes to our house, the house is quiet. Watch it. When my father's sisters come, our house is quiet. But there are times that when my sisters come, our house is both quiet and confused because my mother has brainwashed them, forcing them to be heirs. So they marry, and instead of them to also understand that as they are going to marry this Kwatin family, they are not Kwatins. We have a problem of understanding our position. They say when the value of a thing is not known, abuse is inevitable. Know who you are. I am a borrowed member of the Luttrell family. So understand your point. Why my mother forever will see me as a son, not as a husband. So when you are seeing me as your husband, and you're having an expectation for a husband, that is not how my mother is seeing me. It's dangerous. That is how I see it.
Okay, this particular thing right here, one of the saddest things when we think of marriage as a whole now, one of the main components, and I will count once I'm telling you, counselor, every day, so your counselor, what who say a bam upon us more.
Yeah.
Because Senko be and kind of Sakan Kamikamen, or your counselor, when
yes, that's a problem.
And so when sometimes we can't leading factors in marriage breakout in
it's mother-in-law.
Yes,
the first biggest confusion in marriage is the mother-in-law from the man's side.
Yes,
that's all.
Yes,
because they are visitors.
Yeah,
they are visitors, but they are visitors who are acting as if they are part of the family. May God give us understanding for where we are. Because if we don't know where we are, we might not know how to operate. That's our problem. Shepherd.
Boss.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Afternoon, Shepherd.
Today you have made a statement that I have never heard it anywhere, and I have never thought of it before.
Wow.
That, you know, it's a very deep statement that your mother will not see and they are still taking care of you. You have
yes.
How a man's wife or a man's mother-in-law also comes to the house and also do whatever that she wants. Is it the same thing?
You see, the difference is that anytime your mother-in-law comes to the house and you think she's doing whatever she likes, you are the problem, not her. Because every woman's mother will want to make sure that the daughter's marriage will stand. But if you are looking at your wife's mother, mind you, your wife's mother is not part of your wife's family, but she wants to support her daughter to be married. Every wife is a visitor in the marriage, but you are safe in the hands of your wife's mother than your wife is safe in the hands of your husband's mother. So when your wife's mother comes to the house, did I repeat myself? When your wife's mother comes to your house,
yes, I want you to say it again.
When your wife's mother comes to your house and you think she's doing something wrong, whatever she does wrong is a permission from the daughter.
Okay.
So it is left with you
Agree.
to go away from the lenses of wrong and go to the lenses of learn. Learn your wife. That's all. Because hear me, my brother. The way your mother-in-law looks like, one day you'll be in bed with her if marriage goes on. Because the future of your wife is your mother-in-law.
How?
If you see your mother-in-law's breast falling, if you see your mother-in-law growing old and look started, if you see your mother-in-law growing and talking plenty, the future of your wife is your mother-in-law.
Okay, in that aspect.
She will end up like the mother. So if you can accommodate your mother-in-law today, you can accommodate your wife in future. Do everything in this world. Never interfere between your wife and the mother. Never. Never interfere. If you have any help you want to give to your mother-in-law, never take it direct. Every time pass it through your wife. Be in the good books of your wife's family, and you'll be more prosperous in your father's blessing. Shepherd, your line is not.
Is it me or the network?
Shepherd, your network is not stable.
Oh, okay. I thought it was.
Queen, ask your question. Shepherd.
Shepherd, yeah, your network needs some shepherding.
Go and shepherd your network. So let's have Queen.
Go and shepherd your network.
Queen.
Good evening.
Good evening, madam.
Councillor, thank you very much.
Welcome.
But as for me, I'm not experiencing anything like that because my mother-in-law always supports me, even if I'm wrong. Mine is funny some way. Even if I'm wrong, she'll support me. I don't know. So it's like I'm just imagining how it's going. People are going through this kind of.
Is your husband the only son?
At first, I thought my mother-in-law doesn't like me.
No, is your husband the only son?
They are two. They are three, but one girl. No, they are three, but 2 boys, 1 girl.
Are all the boys married?
Yeah, but it's like my in-law likes me more than the other wife. I don't know, because
congratulations.
From the beginning, she started worrying me. She started complaining, but I never complained. I just kept quiet. Even if I'm wrong, if she's the one attacking me, I'll just be, oh, please forgive me, sorry, it will happen again. Then I'll be there. She'll be talking, I'll be begging. So she's okay. But now it's like I'm her favorite daughter for now. I don't know.
Do you know why?
I'm her favorite daughter.
Do you know why? She feels she has won you to her camp. So you know what is happening to you? You are behaving like somebody from your family house. This is how your family is. You are not acting like you belong to your husband's family. You are acting like somebody who is coming from your family. You were training your family to give respect to the elderly. That is why your mother-in-law behaves like she likes you, but she doesn't like you. You are just living like the way you were trained from your family house.
It's made true because at a time, I went to town to get some things, and one of my family, we have an external family. We are many, and one called me. She said, "Come." When I went, she said, "Hey, how are you with your mother-in-law?" So I'm okay with her. She said, "Hey, the other time she went to one of our rented shops, and she was talking about me, and the person said, who is your daughter-in-law?" And she mentioned my name, and they said, oh, fine. So, and they were telling that, hey, God should add more patience to my heart. And I said, why? He said, hey, when she came, she said, I'm a Muslim. She said, hey, she's from the eastern side of Ghana. She said, you catch your sim people phone call, but me bani me phone at first. She can call me, insult me. I don't know. Sometimes I think I came in her dreams or what. To call, she insult me. Then I'll just be there. Please, sorry. It's not happy again. Sorry. Then she cut the line. So when she said, and then they were telling me that, hey, oh yeah, dear, oh, it's normal. Even if my mother gets annoyed, that's the same thing I'm going to do. So I've taken her as my mother. I have no choice. So I have to behave. But when after that, she said, hey, when I went to their wedding, they have big people in the family. I said, oh, wow. So it's because of that she's behaving that or what? I don't know. Since that time, no.
That's what I'm saying. That wabra body ye sana ya tete onintino. Udi obu open. Asa.
Okay.
But it doesn't mean your mother-in-law is good.
Because counsel, I feel like, oh yeah, good mother-in-law. Then the good mother-in-law should extend to both boys' wives. It wouldn't be just you. And to queen, and then break his say,
she is not a good mother-in-law.
Yes.
When you are the only one living, you are living the way you were trained in Tia. If you like, behave like her. Behave like her. If the two of you can live together.
Like, because not on support. He said,
Now, so say when you say, oh, mommy, hon, uncle, and you are say hon, uncle.
No, I say, oh, eh.
Me call me mommy hon for some time. Me baba, no sister, Nicolani sister, me bread and I'm sick.
And then Nicolani sister, I will be there. Call mommy, and you know, or no, away and Sunny.
Look at that.
You should pneumonia be some monsters.
Oh my God.
No, my week crammed down. I said, a common channel family. See, we need to young for all call. I said, what? And I'm thinking, I told me, what come in past. I mean,
Mammy, we go ask him. Opening none, and no massam, and you maybe I want to travel. Maybe you didn't know. Me mammy and Bambe yan negotiate. Me didn't you man, I'm saying, mammy, and Baho, or maybe Allen Colano, and to mammy refusing a Jalen Cola, Moncosia.
Because I remember once and we I did it on my own. Because I kept making excuses for her. Say, Mommy, so when him say fifth floor there that time back in the Bronx, no, yet the fifth floor that apartment and elevator new. Counselor, me share that me say, Mommy, we could to drain to there. Oh, Miss Sumka Kanga, and then at that time, my grandmother was so me catches. Oh, my grandma cry so no, or too far auntie, auntie, okay, yeah, dear. But I can't many both my grandmother and my mother-in-law no. My first child, me and I'm doing women because I cannot come and explain myself. Please, I cannot come and explain myself.
Christiana, say, Counselor, I went through same thing from my mother-in-law. I drank milk, Canadian. I drank Milo. Or see Milo in my husband's car till I got sick at 3 months after birth.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah, top provisions, no man, lady, I shake at the lady,
how? This lifestyle. How?
One day, enough is enough. You're paying Yama and of Ma, the patcher. Madam, ni mami asmani yani mo bi aba say o mmebo ani nti na ade e ya so ba for bi dia oh man ya mi shira o ya ade but I say udu pia no afred wa me de o comment ni ka sneaky me de me wa me te say dey atam after there we best that me ba me dia family say a chew
Moshe Ubewu Obiba no what me hold here see me dey ma me po on your request me mpo ni decline it
me enemy sada me thank you share ni more request me nye phone wa be ka say baby and say ane
me
when we were going to Ghana I wanted to see a woman teaching me. And I'm glad I've always had that. I don't know, maybe I said that too much independence views or whatever. No, but I am not meaning send any part. Counselor, so I'm sure set down a dream maybe. So I try my best to say, as I mean, family birthday, and as I mean, you might be ma obi home and or something like that. Now, my mother and my parents, both of them. The mother-in-law and father-in-law, they were my in-laws. They were going back to Ghana for good. Or for some side, they want to go back. And it happened to be at the same time we were going to Ghana after some time. That was the same time they want to go. Counselor, they left. Mind you, they've been here for years or whatever. But after no more settle. So to me, I felt like they haven't gotten their grounds there yet. And stuff. So if we are going, I wanted us to rent a place.
Makes sense.
Oh, and then we bring a and a house is in a DMB.
Don't try.
And it's a whole 10 bed.
Don't try. Don't try.
Why?
Don't try.
The mansion itself they built for them coming to live comfortably. Now they haven't moved in yet. So it was the other house, smaller house, older house, a honor for now. They are patching for now with all their goose and crews and wine or mudia bass or mudi bets. Therefore, a honor already accessible. Mind you, I'm going with my husband and my 2 boys at the time. Hey, I was like, and I said, queen, I put it. So me, massa, pacho, oh, me, my just this is 30 minutes drive. Remember, because of and I mean, no, I'm saying, bra, pacho, bra. Excuse me, oh, what is this? They themselves, counselor, they were not okay at the time.
Yes.
Because now after you go to your shipment at bedroom. Because I'm talking of barrels upon barrels in this whole place.
Yes.
Place for my kids to play around was not available.
Yes.
She said, and then the last thing getting me was the bathroom to that older house, how it's in is a shared one. And the door to it, I said, how no more build a house, me fear from your room and I get access to it. They also come from their room and I get access to it. So at some point you might meet with your father-in-law, your mother-in-law, and I was like,
Now, oh, shut your film, mother-in-law, Bob, say, Vic, but I'm doing so kakra. You
see? And when I'm missing patrol, I just want to continue to me free. My dear, I will see you there if you want to. If not, please let's go. For the sake of your peace and
it's better.
It's better. And no, mind you could do but where said you're okay. I saw Henny, your money for.
That's all.
And I mean, so anyone who said, INLAW about
that is it. That is it.
And he wanted the debut. We won't pay you.
This is all your mother wants to do for your. That is all your mother wants to do for your husband. So your mind will work.
That's all. Mrs. And I'm like, look at that. This is also me, oh, you guys are not coming back, Miss. No. We are not coming back.
and let me tell you, if your husband goes to live with the parents, he will enjoy. But when you join, you will not enjoy.
Oh yeah. And so we had like weekends. Whatever, we made it in such a way that for some time he was with them because. Don't get me wrong, but my husband is very close to the mother.
Yes.
Every
son,
every son, take that away from him either.
Every son is close to the mother until they meet counsel to advise them. All right, you become
out of 4 boys, only the oldest, but he's very close to the mother. I mean, the other 3 almost. They will say, "Hey, his mommy," and they will put the phone. But my husband would not put that phone away.
I hope he has not been brainwashed to the extent where he wished to become a woman. You know, among all my siblings, I am the eye of my mother.
Okay.
But I proved to my mother that I will forever be her eyes.
Yes.
But my eyes with her eyes will see my wife first.
That's right. And no.
Until today.
That's all.
I will always choose my wife first. I even choose my wife to the extent that my wife is uncomfortable that I'm choosing her. But I don't care.
Yeah, at some point, I mean,
I don't consult my wife to make a decision, but I make a decision and you think I've consulted my wife. And I love her to the max that when I take a decision without consulting her, when you come, she will speak as if she's part of the decision.
Oh yes, that's I mean that one. I just accept your that if you read anything.
And I say Abigail Bible more catch a David said me kunu by Jimmy Ford. Abigail na Jimmy say wawali Jimmy ni naba. The Bible no kind of you.
So one can so can be obi emu say bia ni kunu eji.
Ah no he say who kunu Jimmy no wa dia baso say he facture na ni kunu Jimmy Ford.
Yeah.
Na who kunu Jimmy ate ne ho wale. Abo Jimmy nta. Now me tell me show no after me ira catch and say who kunu tunu for one to obe kunu. And you expect that my wife will come and tell me say no avec frère me say me can't say oh yeshu ahwe hu yi na nkrofo tamp on bekum. My wife will never tell me. She won't. Her mouth will not say a bad news about me.
No.
Obi natural. Hey, Abigail, dear, Pentecost women advise us to be like her. Be like Abigail, but don't speak foolish like her.
Like her.
That is why Nabal died. Because Eban said, no, he see who can from so who may do what's your hand for channel. We could do a Jimmy for net or Nenny Papa. Bible say, Ananias ni Sapphira. Got to a Japadia. Omodia Japadia and buyer. Almost share boss say, young friend in our man and gopon. Do one you be saying you could say moton is saying, or say at the end year 100,000. At the end of 150. And a Baba to and throw the wheel. Need do one you say, or him who could phone ya de cause a CA, who could phone near de could. As I said, moton is saying, I see, therefore, the Amikunu Kayano, Sao, you're 100,000. And on Nusu, and then the air cannot. Yeah, well, yeah, well,
maybe can't we say now my jama mama can so keep brother-in-law, the youngest, came to live with us for some time. The agreement was for us to help him a bit now. So we try to help him because now crowd now so we try to help him out for few months or whatever. It turned to be a year or and change, but we were okay until certain things were happening. My husband didn't like it. So Okachan said, no, if you're going to do it this way, then I'm sorry, I cannot hold you under my roof anymore. Only I didn't know fee. Just as I accept to routine, so I catch yourself on baby. And you know, obviously, me and they blame me, which I was okay because oh blame you, one blame you, and the going is going. And
I said, sending you a car.
And then they call me to know, say, you're not what I say. I'm from so. I know the you could not America. Because but so only I know but then I won't can. I miss oh, yeah, me could not can. Me, mommy, send me to be send me to
no.
And that was it. I'm like, so you are expecting me to send me? I say, oh, but me think I'm okay. So I mean, what is going on here? So our mother-in-law's daughter-in-law.
But you see, my funny thing is that all of you will grow and become like them. Why?
Like them. That's the
Why?
part. That's the, yeah.
Why? Why you also?
And it's not the funny part too, Kansa. It's actually the sad part.
Well, you see it sad. I see it funny because
yeah.
One time you are not Mrs. Lutrot, but through marriage you become Mrs. Lutrot. Vic has become Mrs. Lutrot through marriage. Why is she your enemy? Both of you are the same. So help us, God.
Okay, Counselor. I'm back. I said, yes. You are making a good statement there that if your mother-in-law is doing certain things, then it means that the permission is coming from her daughter.
Yes.
Yes. So why should the daughter permit the mother-in-law to be operating in that manner, or to have that house in, my family house? My husband and I, we are family. Why should the daughter give the mother that kind of, to empower the mother? Let me just use that word, to be operating in that manner.
Because she's a homemaker. She's not a house builder. So whatever will help her build a home, she will entertain.
What will help?
Whatever will help her to build the home, she will entertain.
That is the mother-in-law.
That is her mother.
Mother-in-law. Yes, my mother-in-law. What will help her build the home?
Watch it. Watch it. We are discussing your wife and her mother. Yes or no?
Yes.
And I'm saying that whatever will help your wife build her home, she will entertain. And her mother is helping her build a home. That's why she's entertaining her.
Okay.
That's all.
Cool. Oh, okay. So that means if it's in the positive way, then that's good.
Give me a minute. I want to be sure what I'm seeing. Ladies and gentlemen, my many years lost certified side chick. I see somebody has borrowed her name. Is that Clarice? Hey, you
Clarice
congratulations. Hey, I've lost the words.
I'm also. I
am weak. Please forgive me of any crime that I've committed. Welcome.
Amen.
Welcome. So let's learn. Clarice, thank you very much. Welcome. Jojo, Karen, where have you been? Hey, Evelyn Chega, you have been missed. So Clarice, me, they have not been missed. Well, I believe that the rest can go to certify one. We are back, eh? You are back, and you are putting all of them back to where they belong. Welcome, my dear. I miss you so much, and I'm happy I'm seeing you. God bless you for coming back. Thank you. So I believe that I met a lady who said she's never seen her mother-in-law before. They are going back in December, and she's going to see her mother-in-law. But on phone, she feels that her mother-in-law will be a dictator. And I just told her yesterday on my show, you and your husband, when you go to your family house. Don't go to your husband's family house. He says, share. They have warned me. The mother-in-law has warned her that she should not make the attempt that when she comes to Ghana, she's going to her mother's house. They will not allow her to take the children to the mother's house. And I told her, until that truth is established, she should not go to Ghana. How dare you hear from your mother-in-law that when you come to Ghana, don't carry our grandchildren to you, the woman, your mother's house. For what? Hey, I say I'm learning my lessons. That I will develop my wife's mother's house more than me, my mother's house. Share. Good day, Mr. Clarice.
Hey.
No, but I'm saying it. Look, if you are leaving America to go and visit, the certified one is finally here. Yeah, I think Evelyn, what were we talking about? Clarice's birthday? Was it yesterday? Yeah, we were having a discussion. We're talking about her birthday. Yeah, was it yesterday or something? Yeah. You see how the world is. She's back. Welcome. You see, one of the things we've not learned is that and I'm saying it again. If you are traveling for America for holidays in Ghana, and your wife's family house have no accommodation, go and rent Airbnb.
Yes.
I am not saying that your husband's mother is a witch. No. I can't say that.
No.
But it is not going because your husband's mother was married and your wife was married. So they are the same. And they cannot live together. And no any problem. No. She is not Mrs. Lutrot. She's not. She was just married and became a Mrs. Lutrot, but she's not a Lutrot. Just like you. Yes, you're in 1962. In your 1982. Oh, Jesus. That's all.
That's all.
But I believe that husbands must be vigilant. Very, very vigilant. And I make us say to the beer, like to see I'm a two coin. Finally, I'm in America. Mefi Ghana, Mabedua. Vic, I'm here. I've announced my coming. Finally, Medu. Me were bronze higher.
Street baby, because if a street night, you might want to rap one cousin.
I've got to correct this video. Your father me number my name and mommy, and I'm their family. So I'm creating some level of enemyship for my wife. So I'm my name and I'm their family. So me creating enemy of my mary. Me that. I would prefer say obi or nam baby emphasis can come on mommy send their mary the beko. Me can't mommy no, but me start it. And I come about things so be and you be and family. Now, I mean, me ba brochia, me cram mammy, me do her, my cram mammy. And I want to be sure Colano, David, me, mammy to me, Colana, any on back children's home.
Hey, Councillor, some of ya na no abaya bi gina airport na ne mother-in-law friend o say na wo he no oh maame ne naija wo ba no watimi say abrante ya nka nkyerɛ maame e no so maame ne na wo ba wi janyankopɔ adawro ma watimi a wo ba fa me ni bakitue
Hey Clarice
what say hey okay ne wo ba kwa me ahwe
hey
Councillor hona no friend ba no say hey yaw enti maame ti me before it's me no the good so na brand say hey sister o man jo no man kwa koje we nyamba like play counselor the man did not come for his wife.
So but why did the wife tell the mother?
That's the problem. That's the problem. If a man cannot go to airport, I should any more
Sister, me cry friend me here beside saying what to say. Obisane twice. Hello, me doba now what is saying? But konkwala what is saying? Man pacho mo hu ye. Oh, na okunu wo he. Man pacho me gya no fio, me gina nchen o. Man pacho me because the protocol is that my mother cannot talk to me on my wife's phone. Oh, who are on me phone number?
That's it. I don't want to
Mimi too kwa ba brochire. Me do abrochire a me frɛ me yire na me de abrochire na ma frɛ me yire. Me ma me te Ghana, onim se me too kwa. Me do 1 week na mape kwa ma me nua ba na ifu akoma ne se ma ba abrochire. Na da ba na aba e me se enra. Enra kra me frɛ yi bisa nkwala na ase. No see work where you ma on by. Enti we hwe Jimmy na me kasa me ba halasi. You see, it also boils down to a wife who wants to respect and obey the husband.
Respect, yes.
Because if you have a wife that will come back who are 3, me say kofa ice block. For ice block no to omuma so. Fatu afuno so. Okof and ice block ni dey be ni okra ba ko pe na me say kofa ice block. Or the ice block me dey aba. O say me fan to him ma funo. Me dey to ma funo me ye o. Me yi ana just simple. Just simple ice block to. Shepherd.
Counselor.
Shepherd.
But I want him say statement now one year you.
Emudia wahin.
Let me make sure what I'm saying.
Emudia wahin na me bepon.
So yeah, so I was asking, sir, if the wife or the mother-in-law, did you say the wife wanted the home to be built, or the mother-in-law want the home to be built?
My brother, the wife is not the house builder. The wife is a homemaker.
Okay.
So when you're going to bring a house sale, if your wife cannot live with the house sale, the house will not be peaceful.
Okay.
Anytime your wife's mother is coming to your house, she's not expecting an August visitor. She's expecting the help.
Okay.
Please, do you understand me?
Mm-hmm.
So because of that, I want you to understand that immediately you find out that your wife's mother is washing, your wife's mother is cooking, your wife's mother is mopping, your wife's mother is setting your food on the table. Don't be worried. It is your wife who has given her the right. She has that right. It is your mother that doesn't have that right in that house to come and do those things. So why are you worried?
Oh.
If your wife doesn't wash and your mother-in-law is washing, is it your hand? My brother, if you are fortunate that one day you come to your bedroom and your mother-in-law has lifted her leg, whoa, nande no, bodenche, whoa, nande no, konima, fuck me, my son-in-law, fuck and go. It is a help to the marriage. What is your problem? Don't interfere between your wife and the mother. Never cross your wife to the mother. Operate with your wife's mother through your wife, and you will enjoy as a king. Relax. And don't go and report. And my wife is not doing anything in the house. The mother has come. Look, let me tell you one of the things I learned. My grandmother said to my mother, I help you people do a lot of things so you can have time for your husband. Do you know why I'm teaching your son how to cook, how to wash, so that you can concentrate on your husband? So my grandmother insisted that I learn a lot of things fast so that my mother will be free. But I have come to believe that there's nothing any woman can do to stop a man from cheating. So if they tell you that, yes say, uncle, yes say, be any bit my or pair or be, but your family dear. It is wrong to give your house to your husband's mother to run on your behalf. And I'm asking bad them, so I'm sorry. Oba America, me say me who in me. They say I'm here 17 hours so. Me kaida po me call kitchen. Pe Jimmy ni ba. Unu no ho sre. Eboba. Me I see every day. Anytime my mother-in-law is coming to the house, the only thing I hear is an information. Today, mommy will come. I say, okay, Mate. But when they say mommy is coming, I don't see anything in the house. I don't see them preparing the guest room. I don't see them changing bed sheets. And I ask myself, your mother is coming and you're not doing anything. The last time I asked, they say when she's coming, we have to create work for her to come and do. So they create work for my mother-in-law. But anytime my mother announces that she's coming to visit, as if Akufo-Addo is visiting the house, I see the children mopping, they are cleaning the walls, they are changing the toilet carpet, they are changing the brush, they are changing the bed sheet. I say, hey, what is happening in this house? They say, your mother is coming. Are they? A hotel. That's the difference. So my brother Shepherd, enjoy it while stock lasts. And because you see your mother-in-law is helping your wife, learn how to release gifts through your wife to your mother-in-law. When you go to town and come, release something. Don't be Armstrong. I am done with you. Clarice, you are welcome. How is life? We miss all your contribution and your writer. I miss you, so I'm not able to write my book. Thank you for coming back for us to write the book. How is America treating you? I see all the good way you're doing. And when anything I see this morning, I saw something that you have written, and I took it as a prayer point for you. I swear on the day I was born, I won't stop praying for you, even if you don't like it. You're actually the certified side chick. Welcome back. Congratulations. Thank you. Francisca says some mothers-in-law are something else. Francisca, you also grow to become something else. Obidia na mkwezo. Obidia na mjanga. Thank you all very much. I'm happy you came. Unfortunately for me, I told you I'll be having, everything has been good. I miss you so much. I know. See, you've come, no? I've become.
Oh, but please, father-in-law's be more social. Father-in-law's be more. The Canton Cross, your friend is a. Because I always try one minute, they open the
Oh no, when you say a bad father-in-law, how will a bad father-in-law will love you? Onyanko no be do any the ban. Asa them you. Me bay sua me pa. Me papa na me the baby na.
also make decision for their.
One say me papa oho me the baby na. Obani di mechia obani nyam hwi you. 1 2 3 me call no say na bake na ade ne nam no won. Me say wa say oyire hu ni da. Me say Wouldn't so pale. And I'm saying that meaning and your parent if you're hungry. When I part to me friend me catch him and say, man funny subai. Na me hwe na sa moja na efimi mu amebre me mbom pa se moja ne mra na nne makwati. Me papa no mo sanda. Me papa no mo sa odi 5068 ya kwanse na starting no mo sa.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so
enjoy Cynthia no.
So me Cynthia aso fudie no. Oso no owie Bible school ansa na me wie Bible school. But the me hwe man fa Nyankopon no amachechire. I cannot be more pope than him.
That's right. I shot there, oh my. Wow. Wow. But it go be. Counselor, yeah, bread, but it go be.
Monsignor Breno. Na monhwe se munyi na de no fam.
That's my prayers, yeah.
Focus on yourself. Don't focus on the marriage. And that's my last words to all of you. Everybody watching me as a wife, never focus on the marriage. Focus on yourself. And when you are able to make yourself, the marriage will take shape. Let me repeat. Anytime you focus on the marriage, you will lose it. Focus on yourself and let it be like you have neglected the marriage. The marriage will take shape. That's all.
Very deep. Company, see, I'm out finishing a nice thing.
That's all. Anybody losing their marriage, they are focused on the marriage. Both men and women. Yes. Focus on yourself. Don't lose yourself. Work on your beauty. Work on your big tummy as a man. Go back for the muscles. Have a good smell. Go and cut your hair. Shave your beard. Look good. And the marriage will take shape. If you focus on the marriage, you will lose your shape and you will lose the marriage. I'm a sweet person And everyone who have me as a mother-in-law will be blessed. I like your pronouncement. Francisca, thank you. Clarice, miss you more. Let's talk. It's a long time I heard your voice. Ladies and gentlemen, as I draw the curtain to a close today, may I see you in future as the best mother-in-law, not a monster-in-law. And don't forget, my wife and you have the same right in our family house. Good night, and this is proudly brought to you by Makpe Ginger Honey Chips. I'm picking my bottle. This is in Ghana. 0277-609-644. Makpe Ginger Honey Chips. And this is in America. 862-215-2007. Tomorrow is the 5th of October. And the 3G award is coming up here. You watch it live. But in the next 2 hours, I'll be on a Dinkra having a discussion on 3G. I'll come live again. But till then, I'm grateful you came to join me. I love you all for giving me the opportunity to come and share with you what is on my head. God willing, next week, we're going to treat some serious topic. There have been a request from me to retreat topic like how to marry as a born one. Thank you. No gift. Clarice, why are you not on TikTok? We'll discuss that. Any gift for me? Those of you who owe me, Bonnie, give me a gift quickly. Release a gift and let's close. Thank you all very much. Good night. One Kwabe Duenis. Vicar 20.
Michael, let's support my new system. Yeah, Mama Michael.
Pacho, what Tony near?
Let's not go be able to go in the
Me kwa support my business for your immune system. Hey, I say she Vicar t-shirt. Mato t-shirt. Me kwa ba be fan kan no. Ni t-shirt go mommy.
Boss, champion, boss, Mr. Only one.
Okay.
Vicar, supporting a new system.
And your well-being.
FICO 20 is not suitable for children under 12 years of age, pregnant women, and lactating mothers. A quality product from Joy Herbal Center. This advertisement has been vetted and approved.
I'm super excited about this ginger chips. Ain't it a whoopee? Ginger chips at me power chow. Say enye mape ginger chips dear. And you then I worry. And it is something say you were in powdered form like this. Inti say we will be open green tea to send me near me green tea and I may be egum. Na se me pese me munch on something so any me sakanwa na marry. Would you wouldn't share no? Google about ginger and you see the health benefits of ginger. But need just some say the organic honey and I come and I get mape ginger chips myself. So America, it comes in a pouch like this. Into more American yina mubiti me afre
862-215-2007.
Good. Ofra you be deliver ye dia more kama. So we Ghana so be patch ofre
0277-609-644.
mape ginger chips dear OBA here. I'm super excited about this ginger chips. Ain't it a whoopee? Ginger chips at me power chow. se enye mape ginger chips dia. And you then I worry. And it is something say you were in powdered form like this. Inti se we will be open green tea to send me near me green tea and I may be egum. Na se me pese me munch on something so any me sakanwa na marry. Would you wouldn't share no? Google about a ginger and you see the health benefit of ginger. But it just some say the organic honey and I come and I get mape ginger chips myself. So America, it comes in a pouch like this. Into more American yina move it to me afre
862-215-2007.
Good. Ofra you be deliver ye dia more kama. So we Ghana so be patch ofre
0277-609-644.
mape ginger chips dear OBA here. I'm super excited about this ginger chips. Ain't it a whoop?
Are you ready? It's all about the prestigious 3G Media Awards and Celebrity Bash. Oh yeah. TC Energy and 3G Media Group presents the 13th edition of 3G Awards. It's on Saturday, the 5th of October 2024. The venue, UIC Banquet Hall, 301 Palisade Avenue, Yonkers, New York, 1073. And the time, it's 9 p.m. on the dot. Come early, don't be late. Hosted by Georgia. DJs on the turntable, DJ Nice and DJ Chief Alex. Red carpet, Pop Freddy and Yeah TV. Sounds by Paradise Sound. Tickets are affordable. $100 for regular and $200 for VIP. Grab yours now. There'll be an amazing live performance by the Dynamic Band. For more information and inquiries, you can contact 164-683-36194 or +233-277-609-644. The sponsors, the media partners. Are you ready? It's all about the prestigious 3G Media Awards and Celebrity Bash. Oh yeah. TC Energy and 3G Media Group presents the 13th edition of 3G Awards. It's on Saturday, the 5th of October 2024. The venue, UIC Banquet Hall, 301 Palisade Avenue, Yonkers, New York, 1073. And the time, it's 9 p.m. on the dot. Come early, don't be late. Hosted by Georgia. DJs on the turntable, DJ Nice and DJ Chief Alex. Red carpet, Pop Freddy and Yeah TV. Sounds by Paradise Sound. Tickets are affordable. $100 for regular and $200 for VIP. Grab yours now. There'll be an amazing live performance by the Dynamic Band. For more information and inquiries, you can contact 164-683.
Yare yo, yare yes. Obi benya one fi yare. Yamfa yare nso nya nipa. Sichire yare ni no. Sickness can determine the last straw of your life. Ladies and gentlemen, friends and loved ones, supporters of our foundation, the CL Foundation for Health, Diabetes and Asthma and Cerebral Palsy, we are knocking at your doors, knocking at your pockets, knocking at your emotions. Support me and my team to support people living with diabetes, asthma and cerebral palsy. Your donations are welcome on 862-215-2007. Your Zelle 862-215-2007. MTN Ghana numbers 055 000 5077 055 000 5077. It is the MTN number. CL Foundation for Health and Support. Help us with the diabetes equipment, glucometers, wheelchairs, old clothing, new clothing, financial support, and let's give it to the needy. Thank you for your support.